Meet Nehemiah, cupbearer to the king, a great leader, loyal to his people, and hardworking. Most importantly, Nehemiah was a man of God. He prayed, he listened, and he was obedient to everything God asked. When Nehemiah found out his hometown walls in Jerusalem were destroyed and collapsing, he was sad. So he prayed and trusted God's plan. When God told him to go and rebuild the walls, he prayed some more and got to work. When other people tried to stop Nehemiah and get him off that wall, he would say, "I'm doing God's work. I'm not coming down." In this series, we will examine Nehemiah's story. We'll learn what it means for God to call us to a purpose, how to stay focused on His plan, the importance of working and praying hard, trusting God's timing, and sticking to the job until the plan is complete. Today we are talking about working and praying, spiritual and physical things working together. When we don't choose to work and pray together, there are two other ways we might do life. The first is only relying on God. When we just pray and do all the spiritual stuff and don't do any work or good things, it goes against what He desires for us. For example, if you pray for God to help you get good grades in school and never open your books, listen in class, or study, then you are not using the brain and gifts God gave you, and that's not working with God. The second way we can choose to live is by not relying on God at all. So we study hard and believe that the only reason we succeed is because of our own hard work. We don't ask God to be a part of our daily lives at all. Here's how it should work. God, thank you for the brain you've given me. I have a test tomorrow. I've studied and I've went over my notes, but I'm still worried. Help me not to worry. Be with me tomorrow as I take the test, and help me deal with anything that happens in a way that pleases you. Amen. Then you look over your notes one last time and go to bed. Spiritual and physical working together. That's God's plan. Nehemiah was great at working and praying. He prayed for God to help him convince the king to let him go to Jerusalem to rebuild the walls. That was something that only God could do. He had to change the king's heart and mind. Nehemiah thanked God and got to work. He used his brain to lead the people, his hands to help build the walls, and his prayers to invite God in and do the miracles only God could do. Here's a story that will show you what working and praying should look like. Tony was arguing with some of his friends who were being mean to another kid at school. Tony really didn't know or like the kid that much either, but he knew that God wanted him to be kind to everyone. He remembered the Bible verse that says, "Try your best to live in peace with everyone. Try hard to be holy. Without holiness, no one will see the Lord." So he prayed and asked God to show him how to treat the kid. He went to the cafeteria. His friends yelled for him to come sit with them. At the same time, he saw the kid sitting alone. He had to make a choice. He prayed for God to help him. Then he chose to go sit with the kid who was alone. Turns out they both had an interest in cars, and they had fun talking. When lunch was over, Tony thanked God for allowing them to have common interests. Tony prayed, did the work of making the right godly choice, and God worked in the situation to make them enjoy being together. Spiritual and physical things go together in your life. It's how God designed it. So pray and then do your part to work through everything in a godly manner.